Hello and welcome, I'm Kitt, and this is gonna be something a bit different. I kind of
I would.
decided that after recording, or maybe like every day, I'd do this little audio podcast thing. And, once again, I've been joined by Lulu, who, well, drew the wonderful picture that you're probably seeing to this video.
Yay! Had to do them.
Oh, yeah. She's a real trooper, guys. I mean, honestly, if this channel ends up going somewhere, I think a lot of it's gonna be because of her, because she really pushes me to get this stuff going. Like, I know I'm very boring by myself. I'm into things like player psychology and game psychology, and I'm into all the nerdy stuff about gaming, and I also know that not a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I'm more into the visual things. I love just, watching people play the games. I love, seeing what little ideas they do and what makes them different and all that other jazz. And I don't know, it just makes everything a whole lot fun. And I like to try and get my own ideas out there
Yeah, and
if I can.
I think cause you and I almost bounce off each other real nicely, but we're very different. I think that might be what helps us. Because I do watch a lot of other YouTubers, because that's kind of the thing you do if you're
It's
like.
inspiration, yeah.
It's not only that, but you also kind of learn their mistakes and how not to do them. Like, um, I learned very quickly through there's this channel called Retsu Play. Right, it's meant to
Right.
sound like Let's Play, but it's meant to sound a bit like someone saying it through a bad microphone or something. Because what they mainly do is actually riff on bad Let's Plays,
Mm.
and they can be quite brutal. But usually, when the Let's Play kind of like they're not unjustly mean.
Okay, I hope they don't do reviews on us then.
Oh no, and I think they actually ask the Let's Players if they're allowed to. Like they try not to do the whole bad blood thing. Like they're
Okay, that
dicks.
makes sense. Yeah.
But they'll do things like pick a Let's Play where the microphone quality is really shit.
Yeah.
So so you just sit there and go, frickin' really? Or like the
Uh-huh.
or like the commentary really is just that dry, or it's obvious that
Oh,
the person's using crappy capture software and low bit rates, and it's like,
oh, not
well,
everyone can have great quality things straight away.
no, but then you look at people like Jacksepticeye, who, if you really watch some of his early videos, and oh my god, the guy wanted to be a game reviewer. Like, I was
Yeah.
listening to his Tomb Raider review the other day, I was there going, oh my god, this guy is a guy who, yeah, he's now one of the biggest Let's Players out there, but when he started, he actually had something really good going on. It's just
Mm.
he found that he wasn't having fun with it. Now, this is a guy who actually has, talent for this sort of thing, and one of his recent videos is all about his setup. And that
Yeah.
was interesting too, because he kind of pointed out that, all he needed was, like, fraps for the game recording, a basic microphone, and kinda knowledge of video editing to start going.
Mhm.
But then you see all these people that do things like they get the crappy cheap web camera and assume that the microphone's gonna be good on it, and they'll use unregistered Bandicam or something, so there's the annoying watermark at the top, or it captures at a low quality.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, some people can't do certain things, but I also sit there and go, you can do your research, you can learn.
Yeah. I can understand that because I've got my other account, which is Jetstream, and I wasn't very confident with using a webcam or anything like that because I wasn't too sure how I would be able to set it up. So what I did was use one of my characters, and that's kind of what we're doing as well with Lulu and Kitt.
Well, as much as I would love to maybe do face cam in the future, I kind of sit there and go, well, I don't have the confidence. Lulu doesn't have the confidence, and really,
To be honest, characters are a lot more easier to remember, and they're a lot brighter, and they also work a little bit nicer in some respects.
like
I
it,
don't know. It's just, you know.
like it might change if we end up with like I don't know 100,000 subs. So, let's dream big and assume that we're gonna somehow in the next year or so get 100,000 subs.
Wow, that girl can. Boy can dream. We can dream, can't we?
Yeah, there's some very popular channels out there with only like 50,000 subs. Like I watch
True.
game reviewers that I kind of sit there and go, how many subs do you have? Really, 50,000? And you guys do this as your living, so clearly subs don't necessarily mean money or anything. It could be just views or sponsorship or whatever. But I think like I don't want to be like elitist and sit there and go, oh yeah, we're totally gonna get famous. I mean, we're gonna be rolling in the money.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh,
I highly doubt it. But then again, a lot of people
I'll
say, "Nah, we're not really all that good," and then suddenly, you know what? They're famous. But
Oh, I
you
dream
can't.
of the day that I can drink
Yeah.
champagne from a glass slipper.
You weirdo.
Ah, you love me.
I do.
I almost feel like with YouTube, like, just initial impressions that you almost have to dream big slightly, though.
I can imagine.
Like, do it for the fun, but also kind of sit there and go, okay, how can I improve? And with this podcast, I'm probably going to be posting up my first video. Me and Lulu have actually been filming a backlog, and I'll probably mention it a few times in the videos that we do actually have a backlog. Now, I've mainly wanted to do this podcast as a way of going, hey, here's the daily update. Here's something new every day.
Yeah, it makes it a little more, interesting, doesn't it?
Well, it's mainly because me and Lulu also live fairly busy lives. She's in England, I'm in Australia, so there's only so much overlap for recording. I do uni full-time, I'm a full-time student. Lulu has her own things going on. We can't record every day. Well, we probably could, but then I'm having to do a whole lot of editing, and like we'll have issues like Lulu will get a phone call, or I have to take a message, or microphone drops out because Rabbit, the thing that I use to stream to Lulu so she can watch me, decides to bug up. So that means I actually have to when I film an hour, it's not an hour's worth of editing afterwards. It's more like 2-3 hours of editing afterwards, because I have to go through, snip down, maybe rearrange things. Like in one of the visual novel let's plays, Dengeki Striker, we had this whole bit where something went wrong with Lulu's internet connection. It was actually being upgraded at the time, and she didn't realize that was actually happening that day. So when she dropped out, I didn't pause the recording, but I was kind of sitting there going, bugger, 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 bugger.
Where the hell is she?
Kind of panicked for a bit. Then she came, oh no, wait, it wasn't the upgrade, your internet just dropped out. That's right, it was the next day that was the upgrade. But I did kind of sit there and go, cripes, oh cripes. When I edited that episode, though, I kind of went, well, I can snip this bit out. Then I realized, no, I can't, because it actually seems a bit funny. Because at the time, Lulu couldn't finish the sentence of the character she was reading out.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is going to
probably would have annoyed a lot of people.
Yeah. I figured it was going to look weird. People might comment on it. Be like, okay, I'll look at my vocal track and go, okay, I'll grab this bit later on that I said, looks like Lulu's lost internet. And then I grabbed the bit where Lulu went, oh, I'm back. And then I spliced these two audio tracks together. Like, it was 10 minutes worth of audio, but I spliced it together, so it's like a few seconds. I think I even put in like a little text thing on the video itself saying, edited. It's just so people knew that.
do stuff like that because then, that just puts everyone at ease sort of thing. It's just like, well,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on here then?
Yeah. Like, there's little bumps in music here and there, but that's mainly because, like, I've had to take a drink and I started coughing,
Music's not
so...
really all that important.
No. Like, with
But
something
it's
like...
nice having it there, though.
Like, with something like Thai, another game that we're doing, music I think is actually more important to a game like that because it's very action-based. So, with the Thai Let's Plays, I try not to edit them as much.
Yeah. Besides, a lot of interesting things are spoken about in those.
Yeah, well, we kind of go into weird little details, whereas the visual novel ones, because it's still images, we can often cut out a whole lot of us, going off on tangents. Like, I know that I had this whole tangent about, that's right, it was lawsuits in Japan concerning fantasy and reality and how it's not actually a legal defense in Japan, unless you actually have a mental condition. I went on about it for like 5 minutes, and I'm kind of sitting there going, this is interesting to someone like me who, studies Japanese culture, Japanese art styles, and all the different laws involving, video games and media. But
it's not interesting in terms of moving the story along.
Because it's just basically 5 minutes about this Australian guy going on about things that he kinda knows.
Yeah. Besides, when I sit down and watch some of the Let's Plays that are my favourites and all that jazz, I'm normally sitting there and enjoying the story and enjoying the fact that the person's enjoying that story as much as I'm enjoying watching the story and so on and so forth, and as well as them having a funny thing to say every once in a while.
Yeah.
Just makes it a little bit more interesting. And to have someone talk over the top of some of the dialogue can be incredibly irritating to someone who's also trying to visually enjoy the story.
Yeah, I think you and I kind of, well, let's face it, we talk over dialogue sometimes. Thai in particular we do, but often it's because it's short bits of dialogue, the subtitles are there nice and clear, and honestly, to someone like me who actually dislikes some of the Australianisms in it, it's like, really, do I really want to hear Ty say "struth" for the upteenth time? No, I'm gonna skip.
I don't know. A lot of other people want to hear him say "struth."
It's like, you're a ripper gobbler, man. Do right, bloody oath. I mean, we're just now laughing at it. It's like, oh, skip.
You hate the bird too.
Oh, Maury. Oh, man. Just, oh.
That gosh darn bird. I call him the buzzard.
Only character I think I like in there is Shazza, but that's because she's kind of flirty and cute. Like, this is a character that's obviously not easy, and she seems like she'll be a good time. And
I sort of just only like the bilbies and the koalas.
Probably because they don't talk much.
And I can collect them and hoard them in my home.
Remember to feed them, hon.
Never! I'm never letting them go.
I said feed them.
Yeah, I'll feed them. I'll feed them candy.
Yeah. Do you get eucalyptus up there?
I don't know what you mean.
Eucalyptus, gum leaves.
Gum leaves?
It's a tree that grows in Australia, the gum tree.
I don't live in Australia. I don't know what that tree is.
And you're expected to look after koalas. Like bilbies, I think they can survive on grass and bugs, but no, koalas need gum leaves.
I'm a terrible adopted mother.
Ah, well.
Or is it, like, something else? Whatever. Oh. Everyone's looking at me weird.
But yeah, back to the point we were making. Through doing this Let's Play channel so far, because me and Lulu have done a bit of backlog, like, we've just finished recording episode 9 of Thai. I've only edited up to episode 5, I think. I've actually need to sit down and start doing a bit more editing, because, the videos are starting to pile up a bit, but Because I've seen other Let's Players like Markiplier and that have to, like... Especially Markiplier, when he started first going to conventions, you can almost tell which videos were his, oh cripes, I'm going to a convention, so I need to get a bunch of videos ready. Videos, because they're usually short, and he's very, to the point in them. Like, a bunch he did was, like, a whole bunch of Flash games, and it's like, this is interesting. It was kind of going on about his childhood, but then he seemed to, like, slap himself and go, I need to get this game done. And it's like, yeah. But then you have a person like Jack, and yes, I'll reference Jack a lot. I actually respect the guy a lot. He does a whole load of prep videos, and you know, he apparently has like a couple of days in advance at any one point, and it's like, how? He puts out like 2 videos a day, and he somehow maintains his backlog, and he's been consistent for like 2-3 years now. What the heck?
Really?
Yeah, he's never missed a day.
Wow.
And it's like, I wish we could do that. Problem is, I don't have the time. Well, actually, it's not... Problem is, saying I don't have the time is kind of wrong. It's saying that I also don't have the energy. Like, it's very hard for me to actually play games. Like, I'm not kidding. I have now... Oh, man, how many games do I have in my Steam library? 748 games in my Steam library.
I think I only got like 10, if I'm lucky.
Yeah. It's
I need more.
It's very hard for me to get into a game, and plus, me and Lulu are quite introverted. Like, we're quite shy in real life, so it actually kind of feels like it takes, like, at least for me, it feels like it takes energy to talk.
Yeah, because you've also got to find something to talk about, and if that thing is interesting to talk about, and it's crazy. It can be really crazy.
Like, it's probably why we're doing so many visual novels, because you can kind of just go, well, you know, if I can't make a joke, I'll just read out the dialogue.
Yeah. I'm not very good. I'm not very sharp when it comes to making a joke.
Yeah. Also, I think that's
You didn't have to agree with me.
Well, no. It's like, what was I going to say? Oh, nah, hon, you're fine, you're fine. It's like, well, no, you're not that sharp when it comes to joke. You're not witty and snappy, but that's not why you're funny.
Really? You think I'm funny?
Well, of course.
Aww.
You occasionally burst in a song. You occasionally make a reference to something that's kind of like, oh god, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm quite witty, but that's because I grew up with a father who was very sarcastic, so I got very used to having to almost be sarcastic back. But, yeah, I also grew up with a lot of the old British comedies where that relied on very witty, fast humor. Lulu is actually a lot younger than me. I think you're like 6 years younger than me.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so when I grew up on things like Monty Python and that was, you know, relatively old for me. Would have been ancient for you. You would have grown up on things like Little Britain.
Yeah, I was.
And Little Britain in particular is a very situational comedy.
Yeah.
So I grew up on witty comedy. You grew up on situational comedy. So it doesn't surprise me that we have different tastes in humor or different approaches to humor.
Yeah. I watch a lot of cartoons, to be honest.
And those are very situational comedies.
Yeah.
Whereas I watch a lot of live-action Japanese drama stuff like Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Garo, Makisenki. And if those things have humor, it's usually very witty or very bad jokes.
Yeah.
But that's mainly because they can't, you know, do, like, over-exaggerated special effects or you know... Like, they can't show a girl with a paper fan beating a guy through a brick wall.
Why not?
Well, they have done before, but it's not something they can exactly do every episode.
It'd be kind of random if they did. Just find a situation just to do it.
I'm more into the very action, fast-paced type stuff. It's also like I watch my fair share of cartoons as well, so it's probably why I keep up with a lot of Lulu's humor as well.
Good boy.
But like I know my humor is also kind of in bad taste sometimes. Well, most of the time.
Very adult a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Mature humor, very mature. Sometimes it just flies right over my head. Sometimes I get it.
And sometimes Lulu will be playing someone's mother, and I'll be having to play the son. I'll be like, "But Mom, I was almost finished." And then we get into this like little dialogue thing, and it's like, Lulu will be going, "No, you have to come out of your room right now. Pull up those pants out the room right now."
I'm not like that. I just say something like "you're grounded" because I can't think of anything. It's just like, oh, what would a mother do? What would a mother do? You're grounded. Yeah, that's it. You're grounded.
But Mom, I found this really awesome website, and it's like,
I'm banning that computer from you.
You might want to wipe down the keyboard first.
Uh,
And that's kind of where the comedy comes from. I think because sometimes I catch you so off site that you guys go and blurt.
I should be used to this, but it catches me off guard all the time.
Oh, I'm still waiting to use one line on you, and I think in the middle of it has to be for Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, and it's one of those jokes that it's kind of like everyone's gonna groan and go, "Oh my god, did he really just say that?"
That's alright. I'm pretty sure a lot of people say that every time I open my mouth.
No. I honestly admit, a lot of the dialogue I actually edit out of videos is usually my jokes.
Really?
Yeah, actually, because you often don't know what to say, you often try and keep it on topic. Whereas I sometimes deviate quite a bit, so it's like, frick, I just talked for like a minute about something completely irrelevant.
So because you're nervous, or because you just generally want to talk about that topic at that particular time?
A bit of both, I guess. Like, I'm used to teaching and lecturing. You know, if I didn't mention this before, I'm certain Lulu knows about this because, well, it was the only way I could afford her DS back in the day. I actually have done adult education. I have actually taught adults and the elderly how to use computers and how to design web pages and such. And I found I had kind of a natural affinity for lecturing.
Alright. I didn't know it was old people. I knew you were teaching, though.
Oh, yeah, it was a mix of a lot of things.
Okay.
But, yeah, which was, well, interesting. But it does mean that I have this affinity for lecturing, and often I find it's easier to talk if if I feel like I'm teaching someone.
Well, I don't know. I don't see there anything wrong about you teaching someone something different, to be fair. Maybe you should just try and just shorten it a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I've had it backfire on me a few times. Like, someone sit there and go, "Oh, well, it sounds like you're telling me that I'm wrong." And it's like, well, I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm saying that you're... Actually, no, sometimes I am telling them that they're wrong, but that's usually because they've said something completely stupid like, you need a SATA connection for your CD drive. And it's like, no, you frickin' don't. CD drives only copy at, like, 64K, and, CD DVD drives only 64K, and SATA is 6 gigabit, you know, that's like 6...
That's alright. All this is going straight over my head.
Like, sometimes it does sound like I'm telling someone that they're wrong, and I'm really not meaning that. I'm basically going, you're wrong, but this is why. You know, not like, you're wrong and you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I hate to make someone feel like they're an idiot.
Aw.
I really do, because I don't think anyone could be an idiot. I
Mhm.
think people can just not know.
Yeah.
The only people I call idiots are the ones that refuse to learn.
Yeah.
Like, you'll meet them and they go, "Oh, well, I don't want to learn about this. It's too hard. I don't want to know. Don't tell me about it. I just don't want to know."
Yeah.
And they frustrate me so much because usually then they complain about it, going, "Oh, well, why is it so complicated?" It's like, well, it's not. If you actually sit down and learn it, maybe I can help you, or maybe
Yeah.
you can eventually help yourself. Um, like Lulu, she wanted to learn how to do video editing and animation. And I've actually tried to teach her in the past, but problem is limitations of what I can show her online and all that. Like, it's very, like, back then I
Yeah,
had a
I'm more of
very,
a visual person. It would be a lot easier if he was sitting right next to me and then showing me how to do it. But when he's all the way over there and I'm all the way over here, there's only so much he can show me.
yeah. And the problem is because Australian internet isn't that great, and I didn't have a powerful enough computer at the time. I also couldn't stream things to her visually.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's only recently that we've been able to start doing this let's play stuff, because I finally actually have not great internet, but I have decent internet now. It'll kind of work.
Yeah.
And Lulu now has better internet and a better microphone, so we now. That's
We're on
another
our
thing.
way.
That's another thing you guys might notice in some of the early videos. The first two videos I'm putting up are just me by myself, because that's just how it is. I think it's 2 episodes of Lily, Child of Geos, and then one episode of Ty that don't have Lulu with me.
Yeah, and then when am in there, I sound really, really crap.
Yeah, and that's for like, nearly 5 episodes of each series.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that she's utterly it's not that she utterly terrible sounding, it's that it's just very crackly.
Oh, really? I thought it sounded like, I don't know, in my head it sounds as if it's really like, when you talk to someone on the phone.
Yeah. No, that's
I've
exactly what it sounds like.
Well, it still sounds kind of crap.
Yeah, but to be fair, it was the best we could do at the time. We've now
Yeah,
fixed
true.
that. You've gotten yourself a new laptop, you've gotten yourself a new microphone, and, we're getting there. Like, we've also accepted that there are certain limitations. I'm in Australia, and most notably, West Australia. And the problem with
Yeah.
that is the West Australia often gets very little in the way of IT stuff. I am not kidding. Sometimes I have to ask a computer store to order things in from the eastern states, and that can take
Really?
up to a few days, and that's even if it's come to Australia. So Australia kind of gets shafted on certain things like technology and that even the stuff that we develop ourselves doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily get available in the country. Like, I'm already looking at ordering cards on, capture cards on eBay, because that might be the only way I can guarantee getting something like an Intensity Pro card for video capture. A black magic card that should be available in Australia, but it's not.
Okay. It's interesting.
So yeah, we have to accept limitations. So I've done things with like my recordings. It's hard to get things here.
What I am finding annoying at the moment is the amount of time it takes for you to hear me and it comes to you, because for me it's just like I hear you, I say something in response, but you don't hear it until like a couple of seconds later.
Yeah,
If you know what I mean.
problem is that's a it's the problem with the online stuff in general. It's how do I explain this without going into computer science?
Your stuff is crap.
No, actually it's not.
Okay, the stuff on the web is crap.
Kinda.
Oh, there you go then.
You see, the speed of light isn't instantaneous, right?
Okay. With
And
learning
that's...
stuff.
And, okay, the speed of electricity isn't instantaneous either. And the speed of electricity is similar to that of the speed of light. And, yeah, I can already hear the comments, yeah, that's not right, blah, 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 I know physics, blah, 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 whatever. Basically, everyone assumes electricity is instantaneous. If I hook up a light bulb from, like, 1,000 kilometers away, and, you know, turn it on over here, it should light up instantly. It doesn't. Right. The longer anything has to travel, the slower, the longer it takes. So okay,
is there no way of me improving this?
That's where I get to the next bit. Technically, we can send a signal around the world in less than a second. So, technically, we wouldn't get a lag. But that's assuming that your signal is raw. As in, no compression, no decompression.
Right.
Compression and decompression is the act of compressing, so shrinking something so it can be sent easier. Like, seriously, get a sheet of paper, just a normal sheet of paper, and try and throw it across the room. It's very hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
But once you crunch it up and then throw it, it's easier, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, it is.
But it takes time to crunch it up, and then it takes time for the person on the other side of the room to get it and open it up.
Yeah.
Now, add thousands of kilometers and all these different compression algorithms and all that, and you end up with something that, technically, there is kind of a speed that we are stuck with. Theoretically, we can go faster if, say, I think if I up our bitrate or anything, but I'll have to do the research to go, is this worth even doing? There's the other problem of my internet sucks, and we're having to use Rabbit, that actually sends... The footage I send to Rabbit is compressed heavily into a web camera-like streaming format. And then Rabbit has to kind of show it on their server, uncompress it, and show it to Lulu. So, you know, that's always going to be an issue there.
Okay.
So, there's going to be always going to be that.
This is, you know, the most awful thing. I think we can still hear each other pretty well, so it's not like a huge deal.
Sounds not too bad, because I can hear you as you're responding to things, but I have noticed a few times you go, oh god, too close to something that's happened, and I'll be like, well, I just defeated that bad guy. Like, the split second later...
I keep thinking, you know, that you're going to edit it so it's a bit more in time.
Oh, a few times I have, like, especially if it's like a very delayed reaction.
Yeah.
Like, in one of the visual novels, I think I kind of went like, I'm talking, I read out the line, and then, you know, a few seconds later I go, wait a minute, what about... So I remove, like, those few seconds pause because, well, they're not needed anymore.
Okay.
Unless it's, like, dramatic or something. Or sometimes, our jokes aren't quite with the reaction, so I might pull it back a bit.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. Like, we don't do a huge amount of editing, it's just I have to still go through and make sure that it's synced up and that, because... Yeah, so...
Because timing!
Exactly. So, yeah. And I'll probably have to be going through this audio thing and editing down a bit, because I'm looking at it going, it's over 30 minutes now. Oh god, we've nattered.
Really?
We've nattered now.
Well, mostly you nattered, because you got a big mouth. Ooh, burn!
well, you didn't seem to mind it too much last night.
Ooh, hello. Yep, that went straight over my head. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait, big mouth. Yeah, nope, they got nothing.
Big mouth, big tongue. No. And it's dead in the water!
No! Yes. Very, very nice of you to mention that sort of stuff. Puts a lovely image in everybody's heads.
Yes, yes it does. Yes it does. So glad I could inspire the youth.
Inspire the youth, he says.
Oh, God. But yeah. So I think we'll wrap up this podcast thing a bit, because it'd be like, yeah, we've nattered on for a bit, and it's like...
Yeah,
and
everyone's
said,
like, you're boring. You're boring, everybody. You're boring.
yeah. Like,
These two are boring.
like, I do hope that we actually end up going somewhere with this. Like,
I really hope so too. I really enjoy this. That's what we do. I really like it. It's like the highlight of like my days.
yeah. Well, certainly same here. It's like, I don't want to sit there and go, oh, well, if we don't go anywhere, we're going to give up. It's like, no, we're going to keep going.
No, keep going. Yeah, I mean, we're enjoying ourselves.
We don't
There's bound to be
exactly...
some people out there that enjoy watching some of the things that we are playing. So
we don't exactly plan to stop either. Like, I'm also gonna be the guy who will read through the comments. Sometimes, like, to be fair, do understand that if like there's 1,000 comments and a lot of them are just like positive, first, or even just the first or lol or whatever, I might gloss over those because it's like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Like, I've known other YouTubers to go, yeah, we're ignoring the outright negative comments because everyone's gonna hate
yeah.
that.
But I think some negative comments are somewhat good because then we can see what we can improve on.
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's the important thing. But
Oh,
someone who's obviously just doing it for attention, you kind of sit there and go, I'm not even going to listen to you. I'm not even going to acknowledge you.
yeah. Well, I'm not looking at the comments. I'm just going to wait for you to tell me what they say. Then we'll talk about it on these vlog thingy majiggers.
Yeah, exactly. But still...
That's right, everybody. We're going to read your comments and then talk about them.
Really, the most direct way to influence us is probably the like or dislike.
Yeah.
Because, like, seriously, you can post as many negative comments as you like, and we might not notice. But you could also post as many positive comments as you like, and we might not notice. Like, we do get busy, and we don't have time to go back to a video that we posted like 3 weeks ago and go, hey, has anyone commented on this recently? It's like, of course we're not going to do that.
But you do look at the likes and dislikes every once in a while, because they are there. There is the success bar and all that other jazz.
Yeah, so if we find that a particular video format, so everyone's just gone, oh, we really dislike this, in the blog we'll go, okay, it shows that so many people disliked it, so you'll have to bear with a few more episodes because we did like the recording beforehand, but after this episode we'll try and change up the format.
Yeah.
So that's probably the best way that we're going to try and interact with the community.
Oh yeah. And I'm also making an intro, just so you all guys, everyone knows. I'm making an intro.
Yep.
I'm trying to.
It's not going to be on like the first few videos. It might not be there for a while.
Yeah.
Like, it's certainly a nice little intro. So it's awesome. It's just
it only lasts for a couple of seconds right now. Gotta last a little bit longer, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, just a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, I think that's the logical end to our little rant thing of blah 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 and yak smack.
Yak smack, he says. Yes, we're good.
I've been Kit, you've been fantastic, and any last words?
No, do I ever? Well, sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. Well, anyway, bye.
Bye.